Hello everyone, welcome back to another Friday and another casual champion review. Today, it's gonna be a bit weird one because we're looking at Briar, not Briar as I pronounced it in the last casual champion review. In fact, she mocked me, her own select quote, which she said Briar.
Nice to meet you. I'm hungry. I mean, Briar.
Just sounds wrong, I don't know. This one's gonna be a bit of a weird one because usually I do these casual champion reviews in alphabetical order, and seeing as Briar is a B champion, we already did the B champions, I thought, well, maybe this week, instead of doing Echo, we just get it out of the way. We do a little casual review, as it were, my initial first impressions, how her character and design have developed with this last little while, because unfortunately she was leaked, but overall, I have a lot of mixed feelings about her. You know what I don't have mixed feelings about, though? Fan art section. I'm kind of surprised there's so much of it, to be honest. It's really quite wonderful. Guys didn't have much to work off, considering she was leaked and her official design wasn't revealed until a little while ago, but it's amazing still. Look at all that stuff. Gave her shoes, which is amazing. Thank you, fellas. You're awesome. Sorry to the people who drew Echo this week. So, Briar, well, what is she? She is a Black Rose experiment made entirely of blood magic and hemomancy power to be a living weapon for the Black Rose. And she's not the only one. There's tons of them, and Scion could technically classify. Also, this move's a jump, by the way. For W, I did not know that. I thought it was a skill shot. And I could have been using it to get over walls this whole time. But I digress. Regardless, living weapon, made of blood, sent to kill things. And on her first mission, she fails horrifically because she kills indiscriminately. She's sentient enough that she's able to take orders, but she doesn't really. She just kills whoever she wants because all she can think of is blood. She doesn't need food. She doesn't need water. She just craves blood and killing people to do that. So to help control her powers, a special pillory was divided with a some blood magic gemstone at its center was crafted to lock her in. Oh my god. To lock her in and help her control her mind. That's what her restraints are. So some more time passes and her, as well as a bunch of other living weapons, are deployed during Swain's coup. This is at the same time when Borum Darkwill's being overthrown, and she's sent to kill Swain. Unfortunately, when the pillory is removed for her to do her dirty work, she kills everybody except her target, which is Swain. So another failed mission. This time she's not retrieved by the Black Rose, instead by Swain's forces. So she's imprisoned after they find the pillory, lock her back into that, of course, and she's locked down in a deep area where a bunch of other Black Rose experiments and other dangerous people are kept away from the Triferix and Swain. And she's kept in this prison for years, and with nothing else to focus on, the pillory is helping to clear her mind a bit. All she has to focus on is how hungry she is. I'm gonna kill this Gwen real quick. What? There's no way it works like that. The W is a 5-second auto taunt. If Gwen presses W, I can't hit her. That's insane. One kind of weird thing about her I realized, though, you can tell me if I'm crazy for this, but she's a living weapon, sentient enough to take orders, but feral enough to kill anyone they were ordered to, but goes wildly out of control due to its own lust for blood. Isn't that just the Indoraptor? Like, am I crazy? Regardless of my dinosaur fanaticism, she was held captive for years with nothing to reflect on except how hungry she is. And after a while, she hears all these echoing voices, and she thinks that's her own stomach telling her she has to eat. But eventually, she gains enough clarity to realize, that's not me. That's the other failed experiments around me in the cells next to me that are crying out for blood. They're even more mindless than I am. And instead of going crazy, because she kind of already is crazy, she's bored by them. She realizes, man, these guys are stupid. All they care about is blood. Am I like them? Do I turn back into them once this pillory was removed? I don't really want to do that. No, please. Oh, God. God, the W feels so weird. I'm pretty sure the only way you can break out of the W is using your E. Like, this feels terrible. So Briar doesn't want to become just like them. She wants to be her own person and eventually explore the world. She's tired of being confined to this cell. And one day, the gemstone in her pillory loosens a bit as she's just playing with it because she's bored. And then the thoughts of blood and rage fill her once again. She realizes, oh, that's what I can become. That's what I can turn into. I'm actually super strong and super powerful. I am dangerous if uncontrolled, but I'd also be very dangerous if I was in control by someone else. And she realizes, no, I need to be my own person, and devises a plan to escape and explore Runeterra. So she pesters one of the guards, and she does this a lot, so they're used to it, but they realize, oh, where is she? I don't know. She was hiding in the cell. grabs him, bites him, and breaks free. So now she is free to roam the world, and that's what the cinematic was, by the way, in all those teasers. It's her breaking free of her cell and just killing everyone. But she now has gained the ability to unlock and lock the monolith, or the, not monolith, because it's fucking the pillory, as she pleases, so she can go in and out of control whenever she wants. So now she's, just as far as we know, running around the outskirts of Noxus, trying to learn things about the outside world and make friends while trying to keep herself in control. And the Black Rose is watching from the sidelines, from what we can tell. I don't know. After Nefiri, I'm pretty scared she's not going to get a color story. Nefiri was left really open-ended in a bad way. Like, we don't know what her goals are, really. We don't know where she is or what she's doing or what relations to other champions she actually has, because just don't let that happen again, right? Please. So now we can get on to the weird part about her, and there's a lot of weird things that happen with Briar over the past little while, namely her age. And this has been a hot subject of debate because August is on record. I wish I could find the exact quote, but August is on record for wanting to make a cute vampire lolly for a long time. So now it's finally been realized, it's finally here. And when the initial splash art got leaked, she definitely looked on the younger side. I immediately thought, just based on her body proportions in the splash art and the way her face shape is, admittedly that might be because her eyes are so big, she looks a bit more chibi-esque, but, oh, what the hell? She definitely looked like a child to me. And that I was already concerned about, mostly because I don't want another Zoe situation. I still remember watching Magikarp use Fly video on League Jeopardy, and how when Zoe released, she was one of the highest searched Rule 34 characters, and that's just like, I hate the internet. The thing that's kind of shitty about Briar is, the shitty thing about Briar is that I don't know if she's a child. She kind of looks the part, but then there's a bunch of weird decisions and weird things about her that make me think, is she not? Is she? I don't know. I'm confused, especially because it does say in the wiki, so I'm going like verbatim. It says exactly, she is an artificial organic construct created through hemomancy, crafted purely out of blood magic, meaning she wasn't born. It says in the thing that, and Briar was born, but no, she's a construct. She's not a person. She was created out of magic. And she was created around the time that Swain's coup took place, meaning she can only be around 8 to 10 years old. You might say, well, maybe that's just her age. Maybe she's not actually, you know, physically or mentally that old, but she is 100% mentally a child. So it's just like, oh, I can't believe I'm going to talk about this shit. Oh, yahoo! Oh my god. Okay, so almost the whole kit feels really, really clunky, but if the Vex ult on steroids isn't the funniest shit, oh my god, it's so funny. So why is that weird? Is she mentally 10 to 12? Pretty much, yeah. Is her actual age, like she's been around 10 to 12? Yes. Does she physically look 10 to 12? Mostly. They made her dummy thick. I don't know why. And she got the dogs out. That has been a point of content for a while. People have been pointing out the fact that her feet are showing, which I can see the perspective that people think, oh, why are you bringing attention to it? You're just being weird. It's only weird because you think it's weird. But then Riot keeps pulling attention to it. You see the tweet? They're bringing attention. Riot France's Twitter banner is her feet. What? And it's not like the part in the splash art, it's the only part that's illuminated. And she's like this creepy prison-dwelling creature, and yet her feet are nice and clean, pristine, no claws unlike her fingers. It's weird, man. And it's not like there aren't other champions who don't have shoes. Like Janna, Gragas is a bad example. Silas, another prisoner without shoes, and his feet aren't even in the splash art. Then they gave her these thick thighs for no reason, and I need to bring up the fucking thing that they said. It's kind of subtle, but with Briar's shape, I want to give her thicker legs and a bottom half with a more petite upper body. The idea here is that if she's actually made of blood magic or living blood, she should be a bit more bottom heavy, like an IV bag or the shape of a droplet of blood. I saw an image that just made me laugh so much. It's like, hey guys, Vladimir rework. So to better match the idea that he's made of blood and he's all about blood, I decided to make him the shape of an IV bag. Take a look. It's just, it feels backwards. Like, it's like in a weird way, like they're trying to justify, oh, I made the short lolly vampire with dummy thick thighs because I wanted to make her look like an IV bag? What? Like, just say you want to make a vampire with thick thighs. Like, it's just weird. And Riot keeps pulling attention to it with stuff like that. Like, the Champion Insights feel like a parody of old Champion Insights. It's so weird. Oh my god. The W has a recast? This whole time? It all makes sense now. I was wondering why the W felt like it did fucking nothing. It's because you're supposed to reactivate it. You're supposed to reactivate the W. I deserve that. You can laugh at me about that in the comments. And this wouldn't be a huge problem, by the way, about like the whole unambiguousness if she's a child or not. If they just flat out came and said, no, she's not a child. She's like 18 or 20 or whatever. But the fact that her design is so... You gotta pick apart every little subtle nuances to figure out whether or not she's a child makes it really creepy. And then the fact that so much of the marketing and the socials keep focusing on the fact she's got thick thighs and her feet, it's already weird to do that. If it's a child's character, the thing that makes it even worse for me is because there's a lot about Briar that I love. I love that it wasn't what I was expecting at all. What I was expecting was any generic Lolita anime girl nonsense. But we actually got a cool, like, half vampire person who uses their own shackles as a weapon. I love that. I think actually if you just cropped her head and you only showed her portrait, I love that. I think her actual head shape is so cool. The big sharp teeth. I mean, my own persona has sharp teeth, so I kind of relate to that. I love the giant blinded eyes to give her that kind of otherworldly creepiness and kind of mimics a bat in a way. I love how her hair is not actually dyed. You get that little essence that her hair is dyed with the red streaks, but it's not because she stylistically decided, I'm going to make part of my hair red. It's because she doesn't care when she eats. She just stuffs her whole face full of blood, so the little red streaks in her hair is just the stains of the blood when she was feasting. That's so cool. And I feel like more than Silas, her own shackles being her weapon makes a lot more sense. With Silas, you could argue the Petricite is helping to store the magic he's collecting, but using other people's powers against them is already his base power. I don't think he could really need the shackles. Maybe it's just there symbolically or something. But with Briar, it's an actual part of her story. She chooses to wear the shackles to keep herself restrained so she doesn't go into a blood-hungry murder all the time. But when she needs to lose control, she has the power to loosen it and then, you know, tighten it back up again. That's really cool. I love her voice lines too. Her voice lines, I mean, would I have liked her to be full gremlin mode all the time? Yes, my initial first impression was just of her little cutscene voice lines we got in the client. I mean, initially in her little teaser, she just kind of sounded like an alternate version of Jinx, but that makes sense because when she is binded, she's more in control, she's more conscious and self-aware about the things happening around her, so she would be a bit more calm and act more like a normal person. It's when she's unshackled, she goes full feral goblin mode, and I love that she changes it well. Like, she gets the big flowing hair, her brow gets larger, the teeth come out, the ears get larger and spikier. Like, it's great stuff. I really like, I'm so happy Riot's been making more humanoid characters instead of pure humans, because I think Briar would have definitely suffered, like Gwanda over here, from being pretty much pure human. You still should have been a doll, Gwanda. So yeah, like there's a lot of things I really like about her design. It's just, why the weird dummy thick thighs? Why the weird having the toes out and trying to point in that general direction? Like, make sure that you know that the toes are out, guys. It's very important, apparently. Oh, you're getting away from me, Aesol. Oh. It's worth it. It was worth it for the funny. Fuck. I guess on her gameplay, from what I've experienced so far, it's weird. How do I describe it? It's like clunky Warwick with global Vex ult is the feeling I'm getting. It's very... Wee! This character's existence is justified. Is justified for that move alone. The W, or the ult, sorry. The ult is so fun. Because the rest of it just feels like really clunky Warwick. You got a W that makes you move kind of quick. That does a big chomp. You get a bunch of healing. The E is a crowd control move. It feels very Warwick-esque in a way. It's not a blatant copy or super similar like Neela and Samira, but the... Come on, Pykel. Thank you. The inspirations of Warwick feel very apparent here. I swear I heard a writer was going to make a mid-scope for Warwick one day. I don't think they need to. I mean, Briar, her name is Briar, not Briar, not the coolest anyone, Briar. Briar, I think, fills that niche of what a Warwick rework could have been, which is good, because I don't think Warwick needs a rework. I say it feels clunky because of the W. I think the W is really the clunky part about her. The fact that it's a self-taunt, the only way to get out of it is by pressing E, feels really weird. The thing is, it's very thematic. The fact that when she breaks the shackles, her W, and self-taunts herself, and you have no way to break out of it except for her big scream, is really neat. Even if it feels clunky, it's very thematically appropriate because that's her form when she loses control. Her whole character arc is centered around, I'm in control when I want to be and out of control when I want to be. So the W, you can activate it at any time and you lose control. Perfect! I couldn't think of a more perfect move for a character like that. I think the Vex ult is really funny, really weird, but I'm gonna excuse the weirdness of a giant Vex ult on this character for the fact that it's... Very fun. I'm not sure I have much else to add to Briar. I think her lore is pretty decent, if left pretty open-ended. They say the Black Rose is spying on her. I want to know what that really means. Is LeBlanc herself spying on her? Do they have a plan for her in the future? I don't know. I want a color story, man. The fact we didn't get one for Neferi is criminal. Please give me one for Briar. I need to know where she's going, if she makes any friends. She has voice lines with Talon, which seems out of nowhere because they don't mention that anywhere in her bio. So I'd hope that they would do that. Oh! Fuck! Am I... You guys seeing this? What? What? Oh, what? Wait. Invisible dragon. And her design, lots of great things, lots of weird things. I'm not gonna say bad things, because right, if you want to make a thick vampire, go right ahead. But don't try to do weird shit like that with a child character, please. I bet, like, the feet thing, man. This is so, the whole feet thing is so much worse if she's a child. Everything lines up for her being a child. She's a child at heart. By age standards, she is as old as a child. It's so weird. Why did they do this? I don't get it. You had a great character, great personality, great lore, fun gameplay as far as I'm playing right now. Why'd you bring this random bullshit into it? Why would you do it after Zoe? I don't get it. You did a child care with Emilio. You can do it. You can do a child character. Even say in the thing that you wanted to make a female character and not have her be overly sexualized. And granted, she isn't. She just has a weird thigh thing and the feet thing. That's why. I don't get it, man. It's very, very confusing. I hope in her color story or someone at Riot clears this shit up, because I just don't want to give the actual pedo freaks more stuff for them. Though they didn't stop them with Zoe. No matter what they do, it's not going to stop. It's just, why are people like this? And gameplay so far, only second game in. So this is a very to be continued style thing, because I did like Bel'Veth in my first few games and I got bored of her real quick. Granted, Bel'Veth didn't have a global Ash Arrow combined with Vex ult, so... Yeah, boy! Pykel! Oh my god. You know, I didn't even mention, I don't know how much water this holds, but especially in her trailer, I got hardcore Nimona vibes. Which Nimona is also Is she a child? Pretty sure she's a child, right? But she's also like a gremlin-y, rambunctious girl who just goes around and loves murdering people and loves blood. It's just, her trailer as well had all the aesthetics you expect from the Nimona movie. So I know that the movie only just came out a couple months ago at this point, but the trailer was out ages ago. It was canceled by Disney years ago. So, well, not entirely true that it was inspired by Nimona. There is a chance that she was. And if that's the case, good decision. Nimona's great. Well, I think that's all I have to say about Briar for now. Initial first impressions. Maybe I'll make a full dedicated video on her when she actually releases. I was going to make one on Neferi. Now I don't know. Especially now that today will be my last Friday as a free man. At least for another 3 or 4 months. Because I'm going back to university next week. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have to make bigger videos. Thankfully, I have some editor fellas helping out with stuff right now. But if there's no dedicated Briar video, like there wasn't a dedicated Neferi video, I might still make that. Maybe it's a bit too late. Maybe I just save Neferi for the Champion Rewind. And of course, there's still Season 7 that I want to make. But Burnout is a tricky thing. Well, that'll seem to do it for this game. Thank you, fellas, so much for watching. So far, I've been having quite a good amount of fun with Briar. Gameplay is pretty fun. Story's good. Just a lot of weird controversy she didn't need. But regardless, thank you, fellas. Next week will actually be Echo this time. And I'll catch you in the next one, alright?